Well, hello. And the reason I'm talking to you is because we've finished today a week of work here in Washington D.C. in Congress. Not much done, but the trauma continues. The trauma and drama, because as the unraveling of the Trump administration and President Trump, uh, the issues that have come up that you're all aware of with Comey, with a special counsel now to investigate uh, not only the the influence of Russia in the election of 2016, which everybody knows is true, to validate that, but beyond that, the criminal investigation into not only Flynn, the influence peddling that could have occurred, the conflicts of interest, and as Trump continues to react in his traditional paranoid way about witch hunt, and that I'm the most persecuted politician ever in the history of the United States. Uh, that is, those kinds of crocodile tears are not going to work. This is about the obstruction of justice. This is about the rule of law. This is about the propriety of the office of the presidency, the most important and powerful position in the world, and the demeaning and that Trump has done to that office. And so the legal consequences to come. And I'm certain that this investigation is done properly. I want and still believe that an independent commission to do a full study without any restraint, with subpoena power, and with the resources to do it right, could get at the root of everything in such a way that the public would know all the details. But this is the situation we are, and I'm hopeful that it'll be expedited. I'm hopeful that it'll be transparent and public, and I'm hopeful that we follow the facts wherever they may lead, and that attempts to cover up, dismantle, confuse this investigation are not only resisted, but are brought to the attention of the public. I think this is a very serious potential uh, constitutional crisis that brings into question the very legitimacy of the Trump presidency. And so as we go forward, this is not a time to be so gleeful that we forget that while this investigation is going on and its ramifications are historic and significant to all the American people and to the things we care about, let's not forget what's going on around us. The EPA continues to dismantle the public health protections for this country, uh, continues to attempt to minimize, if not closet science and fact, and climate change as part of any real analysis of the impacts to this nation, not only the warming of our climate, but also the public health that all Americans are going to, and people around the world. The threats by Trump to get out of the Paris Accord are all real, and they continue. And while the investigation is going on, the ideologues he put in this position at EPA, at the Department of Education, which is on a singular agenda of privatizing our public education, and quite frankly, leaving kids behind, and those that can afford to move on through a voucher program, will get that support from this administration at the expense of the kids in this country that probably need the attention of and a well-functioning public school system more than anybody else. That threat continues. The dismantling of worker protections continues, and we now have the study going on at the direction of Trump again, to look at the Antiquities Act, to look at all the bedrock environmental laws that we've had, from Endangered Species to Environmental Policy Act, that have served this country well for over 50 years under assault. Why? Because they want to turn our public lands into a profit-making operation for the industry, gas, oil, mining, and turn that over. You know, the Koch brothers are lusting after our public lands, as are others. And so that assault will continue, and we must resist and push back on that. The assault on the Antiquities Act in Bears Ears will continue. So as we monitor and continue to push this investigation that is both justified and real, we also must be very cognizant that the resistance to Trump has to continue on all these other levels. You know, he's peppered his administration with some of the most extreme ideologues, anything anti-climate change proponents, anti-worker proponents, and anti-immigrant, anti-inclusion people up and down his administration. And as we talk, Attorney General Sessions continues to push his brand of extremism. Maximum penalties, maximum jail time, mandatory maximums. He's reintroducing that. He is reintroducing for nonviolent crimes, so that we continue, so we can go back take back the one step we took to limit the number of people in our prisons and jailed in our prison on maximum terms for issues such as drugs, mental issues. Now he wants to reintroduce that and bring us back that one step. His challenge to voting, the commission that Trump set up to look at voter fraud, putting the two biggest voter suppressors in this country in charge of it, Kobash and Pence, both responsible for laws and initiatives to limit the access of people to voting in this country, particularly people of color, older people, and the young. And that's the commission, and you can tell what the recommendations are going to be. So while I am happy the system of checks and balances is working in terms of an investigation into Trump and his conflicts and his obstruction of justice, I remain very, very concerned, and I believe all of us need to be energized and attentive to everything else that's going on. The assault on healthcare is not over. And so while Trump is fighting off the swamp he created, we need to be fighting off the efforts and the initiatives that Trump and his associates continue to push on the American people. The fight's not over by any means. There's no time for celebration, to be honest with you. It is a time to be serious, and it's also a time to continue what we're doing, organizing, pushing back, resisting, and hoping that we are victorious in all those issues. It's a long haul ahead for us. I'm committed to it. I know you are too. I want to thank you for the support that you extended to me, to my office, to the people I work with, because we need it.